Okay, so it has been some time since I made a video, and I understand. Sometimes we need a break, sometimes we need to go back to the drawing board and realize what we messed up on. So I think some of the previous videos I made were simple as, let's say, kind of like end of day summaries, where I kind of go over the trades that I took, and I go over the things that I did and what I was thinking and all this. And so I believe the last time I made a video was when I was, I guess, doing the Combine challenges, which I didn't really blow up, per se. I just didn't really think I was ready. But now I think I am, which is the reason why I'm confident enough to make this video today, because I think we've reached a milestone. Now, that being said, yes, I've been taking some time off to improve on my trading skills and to just get a better understanding of the market and how the market works. And so I've gotten better with consolidations and spotting when those happen, because obviously you don't want to trade when the consolidations happen because you might get washed around and chopped. In other words, that's what I call the market's just brushing its teeth. So I've improved in that. And yes, I have been expanding on my journal quite a lot, as you can tell. Yes, all these are from this year. And of course I have the other ones from 2023 and 2024. So I'm still journaling. I'm still up every single day, especially here recently, the past couple weeks, where I've been very disciplined on sitting in front of my charts and trying to find the silver bullet trade, which is exactly the model I'm going to be using when trading, is the silver bullet. Nothing else, nothing more. Fair value gap between 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock, 5.25 handles, depending on whatever I'm trading. I'll have multiple contracts, E-minis, micros, whatever. It will be just a silver bullet, which is the reason why I renamed this channel the Silver Bullet Trader, because that's all I do. And it's really simple, easy, to the point. No frills, no buts, no nothing. So, that being said, we're back. And I'm actually kind of hyped to be back. I was really hesitant on making this video because I just don't know if I should really be making videos on this or not. And I just felt like it'd be a waste of time. But I was like, you know what? Let's just find something else to do with our lives. Let's find something else that we can do to just, I guess, journal this whole journey of becoming profitable. So my goal with this channel, or should I say my goal over the next couple months, is to become funded using Topstep, which I'm not affiliated by them at all, and I don't want to be affiliated by them at all. I am going to try and pass the Combine. So, that being said, it's not going to be that hard. It's just because the markets are kind of weird right now, if I'm being completely honest. Not really weird, but we're in a bull run, obviously. I think we're long-term bullish on the markets, so I'm not really too worried about whether or not we're going to crash or burn or whatever, but I digress. That's a weird way to do stuff. But okay, so what we're going to do, or what I'm going to kind of, I'm not doing like a market overview or anything, but I'm just kind of saying, yeah, we're in a bull run. It's going towards all-time highs constantly, and it's October, so we kind of have to wait and see if it wants to try and reverse around this time, because seasonal tendencies tend to happen if you're trading Michael's content or whatnot. So, yeah, I've just been taking a break, but I think we're back at it again because I'm just feeling pretty motivated, and this time it feels kind of different. So I've also been better at containing myself when taking a trade. I'm really not all that nervous like I used to. I remember last time I couldn't even catch my breath. Like, oh man, I'm in the market now. I hope it goes my way. I hope I don't lose money. And now it's just like, oh, well, we're in the market now. But I'm trading in the direction of bias because I did extensive research and I know how to spot specific algorithmic stuff in the market. So just kind of FYI, what I've been doing, as you can see. Same stuff, like I did before, a little bit more advanced though. As you can see, there's a silver bullet there. That's what we are going to be trading from now on, is this thing here. Nothing else. We're not going to be buying down here. We're not going to be buying to the order block. We're not going to be doing none of that stuff. So that's just because I want to keep it simple and easy. So as you can tell, I mean, look how good this is. Like, I don't really think I took a trade in this at all, because I didn't see no silver bullets. Look at that. It's like, this is a really good example of how far I've come. Now, I didn't trade this, you know why? Because it was in consolidation. I did not see any sort of logic behind what was happening. So, let me just go over how good we've gotten. We got no silver bullet today due to the choppy price action. Price was in a bull run all the overnight session, so this was a key indicator that price should likely go into consolidation during the AM session. We forced no trade because our setup was not present. And this here says, this fair value gap gives 5.25 handles, but the probabilities are low and there's no real draw towards anything. And you can clearly see that. Now, back in the day, this right here, you could have taken a trade. Yes, I could have taken a trade. I could have actually went long, got my 5 handles, and got out. But why did I not do that? Because if we take a look at this, let's say if this price action was not here, okay, there's no real way I can, okay, yeah, just pretend it's not there. Okay, where's it going? It just seems like it's wish-washing around, and likely because we already made a big move overnight during London or Asia, whatever it is. And we had already made a shift towards a higher term liquidity pool or whatever. So this means that the AM session might not be all that great. And that's how I can adjust my, I guess, my trading plan for the morning session. Be like, okay, we're going to be to consolidation. I'm not going to have any high expectations of this at all, but we're still going to study it because we have to burn into our brain what consolidations look like. And this is clearly that. How is this a consolidation? Because we're trading in this range right here. Simple. We're not going anywhere. We're not doing anything. And it might be like, oh, well, we see these huge consecutive candles here, and it runs at this high. But it takes so long to do that, I'm just not going to worry about it because my time frame is only between 10 and 11 o'clock every single day anyway. So, that being said, I'm back in business, I believe. Yeah, we're going to try and trade this or try and pass this combine and such. And yeah, we have better risk management as well. So we know when to not, as a kind of stipulated here, or discussed here in this consolidation, is that we're better at risk management. So we know when it's really risky and when it's not, when it's an obvious sign liquidity run. So like when doing the silver bullet, when you're looking for a silver bullet trade, you want to find areas of liquidity first. Is it reaching for buy side or sell side? And you want to wait for price to then do it. So something like this, right? Where it is very obvious where price is likely to go. And it's like, okay, well, I have the new week opening gap low here, or the midnight candle open from New York session from last night. I want to use that as a draw, and it's obviously going to reach for something. So I want to try and find a fair value gap within this leg. And so that being said, it makes it very easy to spot. And that is why I believe it took so long for me to just really soak it in and see what it looks like. Because I've been at this for nearly 2 years now. Specifically ICT models. But I'm at the silver bullet for like almost 2 years, should I say. And I've studied for nearly 2 years. And I'm still nowhere near profitable, which is kind of crazy. When I say right now, I kind of am. If that makes sense. Like, I'm not trying to show off. I'm not trying to be some kind of like, oh, I am rich by any means. I have not passed a combine yet. But I do have $1,000 in my trading account, my live account that is, and I do only a single micro contract because I risk about 2% of that initial $1,000, which is like a $20 loss or something, or 4 handles that is, because that's the maximum amount I can lose according to my rules. So that being said, I know this video is kind of all over the place because, like I said, just kind of giving an overview as to what's happening, doing the right thing. And that's just doing it slowly, taking our time, and being logical with what the market offers, and looking for the draw on liquidity, and doing only a single trade per day. And some new rules I have is if I have 3 trades a week that was all profitable, I won't trade for the rest of the week. So like if I was profitable Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I'm taking Thursday and Friday off, and I'm just having that 4-day weekend, so I don't have to worry about it. So, I believe that's it. I really don't know what to say, besides we're going to start doing this a lot more often. I'm going to try and keep these videos around 10 to 15 minutes long, because I know I don't like to drag people's day out so much or just bragging about the same regurgitated stuff. Like, you got to follow your rules, and you got to be disciplined, and all this. We've all heard it 1,000 million times. And I will kind of discuss those things as we are going through and bringing out examples as to what I was thinking in the marketplace. Like, oh, well, it was a consolidation, so one of our rules was saying, well, if we don't break that intermediate term high or intermediate term low, or if we don't have a draw on liquidity, if it's not obvious. So, I mean, look at this. This is another prime example of what it looks like during a consolidation. I did not trade a single thing out of this. You know why? Because the draw on liquidity was not obvious, especially on a higher time frame. I remember specifically this day looked so horrible on the 15-minute chart. It was bad. So I was like, well, that 15-minute chart, there was nothing but wicks everywhere. And you can kind of see that with all these swings up and downs and all this, because I believe we had already made, price made moves during the London session, but didn't really do much during the AM session in New York, because it already had made its move. And so there was no trade. Some expectations going in can be like, okay, well, it didn't do anything. It did a lot overnight, but it's not going to do anything in the AM session. So that's like where I can kind of manage my risk, manage what I can do in terms of like executions and all that. So here's another good example of what it looks like an obvious run on liquidity. So price was reaching for relative equal highs above, which is an all-time highs. So there was somewhere up here, there was relative equal highs waiting there. And you can tell this is our silver bullet, happens between the 10:50, 11:10 macro. So this right here, I believe we've taken this trade. It was right before 11 o'clock. So it's still a good silver bullet. Reaching the edge of our time limit here, but we got 5 handles out of that. Same thing here. It's the day of before non-farm payrolls, so there's no trade. We still got 5 1/4 handles right at the end of the hour during the 10:50, 11:10 macro. The target is the 15-minute BISI. So you see how obvious this run is. Now, I think I ended up taking this trade. I was paper trading because it was the day before non-farm payrolls and I couldn't do live funds. But I ended up going long or short here. Oh no, I always say the opposite. But I ended up going short here, and we ended up going upward here. That swing high ended up stopping us out because I could not adjust my stop above this swing high because we had already reached our 4-handle limit of a stop loss. So I couldn't do it. Following our rules, we still got stopped out, but it still ended up going there anyway. Which, to be fair, I didn't really care. I was actually still very surprised. Well, not really surprised, but I was still, should I say, satisfied that it went to that 15-minute fair value gap down there. And sure enough, if we just if we had just waited a little bit longer, we could have taken this silver bullet here. There's a fair value gap there, and it still has some room to move. I think it was like 8 or 9 handles right in this move, but we took out 5 1/4 handles. That could have been profitable. So, and you have the relative equal lows too. So, other one here. Thursday's first presented fair value gap. We got the relative equal highs here. Silver bullet. Volume imbalance with that as well. We got a 5 1/4 handle, silver bullet, fair value gap during the PM session. Price was making a move higher during the 1:50 p.m. to 2:10 p.m. macro. We went long at the volume imbalance and got it at the bottom of the first fair value gap for today. So right there. Pretty cool. Another one. And I actually have the execution labels here. We got our 5 1/4 handles in the AM session. Price made some good swings overnight, so it was best to come into the AM session with expectations in check. Like I was discussing earlier, non-farm payrolls was canceled due to the government shutdown. Price ran to the new day opening gap and tapped the very bottom or the very top of it during the 9:50 a.m. to 10:10 a.m. macro and shifted towards the all-time highs again. Our target was the negative 0.5 standard deviation level, which is right here. Now, eventually, later on in the day, it actually ended up going up there. Eventually, it was like during the PM session or whatever. But yeah, because we were trading all-time highs, I'm still learning the standard deviations tool, which is a little bit more advanced because I don't really use it all that much. But as you can see, we swept we swept down here into that new day open gap. Look how it hits that to the tick. And isn't it just amazing? Like how precise it is. And look what time it happens within the macro. So that's pretty cool. And we also fill in the imbalance down here that it made. I think that was right at market open. Yeah, so we went down there, swept into that fair value gap there, tapped into the very tippy top of that, and then we ran higher. Now, why was it running higher? Well, because we already swept the sell side, and plus it's just that the market overall is bullish. I am long-term bullish on this market. Considering that it's September, I kind of really want to make sure that we are in line, because I know September, October is when the markets kind of turn bearish, and I don't know if we're going to see that this year. I don't know. And why is that there? I got to change that. I have to change that name. That's going to bother me. Because there's not a second one here, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that number 2. There we go. Cool. Okay. So yeah, overall, we're going to start recording again. Preferably, I'm going to do like, I don't know, weekly videos, I guess, at least once a week, or whenever we do make a trade, or whenever I lose a trade, I don't care. And sometimes we'll probably throw in some live trades in there. As you can see, we went short, or we went long in that silver bullet there. Look how we respect the consequence encroachment of this silver bullet right here. And we get out right there. So isn't that just awesome? 5 1/4 handles is all I need. I don't care. Nothing more, nothing less. But yeah, essentially I just went over all of my bullet points here that I wanted to talk about. But yes, we're going to be making new moves, new goals here. I want to pass a combine before this year ends. And I believe we're going to get there, because it don't really seem that hard to me anymore. It really doesn't. And it takes a lot of confidence to say that, because I am pretty confident in this. I'm not doubtful. I'm living in this mindset where I know I'm going to be successful in this day trading thing, and I know a lot of people are as well, and I hope a lot of people who are doing this is successful as well. It's not going to be an easy task for anybody. It wasn't easy for me. I've been at this for about 4 years now, the whole trading thing altogether, but then I found Michael ICT towards the end of the year of 2022. And so it just kind of went uphill from there. I studied every single day since, and yeah, you can tell how hard it's been. So it's been like 2 years and we're still not profitable, but I believe that's all about to change here shortly. So say before the end of the year, we should pass a combine. That's a challenge I want to do myself, but I'm going to be confident, because we have to. It's the only way you're ever going to make it in this market, is if you believe in yourself, and you're going to know when you're actually going to make it, when you start doing things like this, when you're consistently profitable and all that. So overall, I think to finish this video out, I'm documenting all of this for a very specific reason. And as I was saying, I was kind of hesitant on not doing it, but at the same time, I want to document all this in case I am very big one day. So if I want to create like a future company, it's going to be a big deal, not like your mom and pop store where it's just like I sell baskets or something, or like flower pots, which I'm not going to do. But this has to deal with like space travel and things like that. And that is, I just want to say, if anybody wants to know how I became that kind of person, the CEO of a big multi-interplanetary corporation or something, this is going to be evidence on how I got there. And we might not make it, but at the same time, I'm going to do all I can to get there. But for certainly, we're going to be full-time traders one day doing this. I know I'm kind of bold saying that, but yeah, we're going to try and do that. All this I'm going to be making, the videos I'm going to be making, is going to be simply for documentation reasons, just to show how I've managed to actually make it in this. So we're going to pass that combine. We're going to be successful in this, because I just know it. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. I don't know how much I'm going to get. Good, right, 18 minutes already. So I'm going to be working on my speech, working on being fluent with my talking skills and things like that, because I hate doing the ums and the uhs and the you knows that everybody does, and it's kind of annoying. So I'm gonna be self-aware of what I say, and I'm gonna be more fluid and more, should I say, transparent with my way of talking, just so I can really explain what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So anyway, hope to see you in the next one, and it's good to be back. Peace out, people.